Welcome back to the Abundant Harvest Homestead. It is winter and it's showing. I had at least 4 or 5 inches of snow in the past 24 hours. When I went to bed last night, and it was late last night, it was still sleeting and freezing rain, so really probably in the past 12 hours. We've had about 4 or 5 inches of snow. I was working on a book project for Pinky and I, but just getting tired in the house. Nice, warm, cozy stove, sitting in front of a computer screen. I said, nah, we got to change it up. So Monster Truck and I are going to go cut some cedar, because the way I figure it, I probably got about 40 cedar big posts that I'm going to be needing for some projects I want to accomplish this year. I already got a good amount cut for the outdoor kitchen and some for a pavilion. But and I used up some for the what's it called? Lean-to. Built a lean-to off my shipping container, and then another building which will come into play later. You guys don't know about that building yet. You don't need to. When you need to, I'll tell you. But I figure it's about time, and this is actually going to bring back some memories. So let's get out there, and I'll share some stuff about my past related to stuff like this. At the moment, I'm actually on a neighbor's property, and my neighbor, he hates cedar. He wishes he didn't have any. That's okay, I can't say I blame him, but with him not wanting any, and me desiring some, it's a good symbiotic relationship where I can come in here and get rid of some cedars for him, and then he can have less cedars. And actually, in the last storm, looks like that one behind me, see that? That one got knocked down. Actually, son, why don't you go get that sawzall, and I'll let you clean up the branches on that one. Did a sawzall experiment recently. It'll be coming in a future video, but it was basically about if I could pretty much turn a tree into firewood using just a sawzall. Because when you have children, or sometimes older people or other people, chainsaw is not always something everyone's comfortable with. Wow. Makes me wish I would have cut some of these before. Look at this. A big wind came through here. That is so many snapped in a row. I mean, I can still get some good posts out of there, but wow, some of these, look at that. Goes up that far, boom. Cracks right there. Comes out this way. Cracks again. That is crazy. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna try to clean up some of that mess too. But one cool thing about all of this coming out here to cut cedar in the winter is that it brings back memories of my childhood. Kind of like what Monster Truck's up to right now, being a child cutting cedar in the winter. But when I grew up, I was the child of my parents, and my parents both came from like dairy farm families up in Wisconsin. And my dad's dad, my grandpa there, got into all sorts of stuff. And one thing that he had is he would cut cedar. And he had a cedar swamp. But his cedar swamp was a swamp. You couldn't really drive a tractor in there in summer. So he would wait till everything froze and then head in there in the winter. So I remember bundling up as a little guy, catching a ride on the tractor and heading out in the woods, out in the swamp with my mom and my dad, my 3 brothers, or my 2 brothers. I'm one of 3. And my mom would cook stuff on a wood stove that was out there in the woods, and we'd have, you know, warm meals, and we would help find porcupines up in some of the trees, different things. But brings back those memories. I got a couple pictures which help to kind of jog the memory. But yeah, so to be cutting cedar in the winter, not exactly unknown to me. But also, when you cut trees in the winter, it's freezing temperatures right now. So the sap in there, the moisture in there is frozen sometimes, and they're a lot more likely to crack and snap. That stuff there was probably partially wind, but also partially the freezing temperatures, and then the weight that all the snow that came at that point put on them. That's probably where a lot of that fell apart. So I'm not looking to haul anything out of here today. I'm just gonna get a bunch cut, and I'm probably gonna do some measurements before I do my final cut. So I'm just gonna strip the trees bare, cut them, and then I'll cut them to length later. I just gotta get a couple measurements for some of the lean-tos I want to put up, some of the porches I want to put up, other things, so I know exactly if I go like 2 feet in the ground, how much above ground I'm gonna need. I'm gonna want some actual measurements for that. So I'm gonna fire this guy up. I left my gloves in the truck. I'm gonna get my gloves out of the truck probably, then fire this guy up and get going. Monster trucks are ready, getting party started. It is definitely exhausting working out here when it's this cold and I'm this bundled up and these things are this heavy. A couple different things working against me. Number one, most of these cedars have all sorts of greenbrier running up them. If you're unfamiliar with greenbrier, it's pretty much like wild barbed wire. Super thorny, just vines that grow. And you know, I'm getting tangled in your clothes, ripping your flesh open, caught in your hair, anything like that. Cool thing is they are edible when the fresh shoots pop out in the spring, so we really like eating those. I can't wait for spring, in fact, just to eat a whole bunch more. But those are all wrapped up around here. then a lot of these trees are no longer straight up in the air. Do you remember I showed you they're bent over? Like all those there, just bent over. So I got that working against me. Oh, and then it's pretty thick right in here too. I skipped over a bunch of little stuff and a couple of big oak trees that I'm leaving because the guy likes oaks. He just doesn't want the cedar on his property. So I got the first one down, got this one down. A little one was hanging it up, and then took down another one, which I didn't record, but it got pulled back there. This whole thing finally tipped down after that. I probably got monster trucks working on one over there that tipped over, plus I had another one laying on the ground there. Got 3 more here, and a couple of these I'll be able to get 2 posts out of for some of my projects. And I got one right behind there that I'm cutting, but I want to tighten my chain on my chainsaw a bit. And one thing that I really like is recently I learned how to, finally kind of learned how to really sharpen a chainsaw. You know, 20 bucks a pop, sometimes they're easy to pick up and just get a new one. But you gotta learn how to sharpen one, and finally I really did a good job with that. So this chain's about like new. I really appreciate that. I'm gonna re-gas up and oil up and tighten my chain and then get back out some stuff here, but I'm gonna make sure monster truck, because he's like 8 or 9 now. He's probably 9. Make sure he's still doing warm, because he's just a little guy. He did all his inside stuff earlier and has some free time now. He's the battery guy, so he keeps all my rigid batteries charged. And I think right now he likes using that sawzall. Let's go check on him. What's going on, little guy?
Well, I got it all done except for like a couple twigs on the end.
Oh yeah? Let me see.
I'm gonna cut off the tip.
Oh, come show me. Is that sawzall working okay for you?
Yeah, it's working actually really good.
Good. I'll pick up some nice long wood blades for it too.
I think I did 1 right here and 2 right over there.
Oh yeah, some to leave for hangers or handles?
Yep.
Yep, I see that. That looks good.
And then maybe I left one over there.
So I got that guy there too from before. That's still good to go. He's buried in there. Plus this guy. And then yeah, there's plenty of cedar around here. It's just some of them are now bent. You staying warm enough?
Oh yeah, I am actually burning hot.
Okay, I'm gonna get a little coffee, a little more fuel for me, and a little more fuel for the chainsaw, and I gotta tighten my chain. But then we'll just keep going. Some of that other stuff, if I got things downed enough and you got this one all the way clear, I'll give you a new one to work on. Second battery? You only used one so far. Okay, cool. So we got some time left to work. We'll see how it goes. Here's the whole area we cleared out before though. This was thick. You just see it's pretty much open and white now, except for a couple little trees. They're not all doing the best. Some are tipping over. But this was our area we did before. And yeah, I'm glad. It's nice to be on terms with neighbors where they'll let you come on their land and chop stuff up, and yeah, then we can help them too and they don't have to deal with it. I like the way life works out, and I'll tell you what too, even this, I'm glad I came from Wisconsin originally, where I'm not really scared of the snow. And not that people got to be, you know, scared of the snow, but it can be a life-threatening situation. Even when I went out to the post office earlier, I had ran that community card talking about our Etsy shop and re-upping some seed supplies and stuff in there. You guys showed up mightily, and boy, I don't know if like 12, 15 orders poured in pretty quickly. So I just got those all shipped out today, but I'm like, I want to do it don't want to wait any longer than Thursday, you know, to get them mailed. So I forced it, went out there and took care of business. But it was a little slippery out there on the road. I only needed to use 4-wheel drive once on that trip, and that was coming up an incline into a parking lot driveway. Everything else went fine, but they don't have guardrails on a lot of curves around here. The roads in the Ozarks, a lot of them are like this, where back in Wisconsin they were straight, and if you encountered a curve, they put a guardrail there. Here they don't, so if you start sliding, you can wind up down some big old gully or holler or ravine, and that ain't the way we want to do it. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Oh, that's going to be a post for my front porch or what. We'll have to see. But I did list all those goals for this year that I had. A lot of them from porches and lean-tos and buildings and stuff require me to have something like this. So I'm gonna try to get as much of a supply going today. And cool thing too, I mean, it gets dark at like just after 5:30. But when it's this white outside, you can see for a long time. The sky's all white, the ground's all white, the trees are dark. I could work a little bit. We're not gonna go too late because, you know, we got chainsaws and stuff, but it is nice. How did your work go?
Pretty good. I got like almost 2 of them done, but I think I did good.
All right, I got all this down. It looks like a giant mess, but when I come to length, it'll be easy to pull them out. So at least this whole section's down. And I probably got maybe 10 to a dozen. So if I got somewhere between 10 and a dozen, and I needed 40, you know, I've only got like 30 left to go after that. Not too bad. Now this is my last month for bow hunting here. I can get 5 deer in this zone. I got 4 so far this hunting season. We just had some hickory smoked backstrap last night. How'd you like that?
It was awesome.
It was amazing, guys. Just I did marinate it, but just to combine meat and smoke and have it turn out that amazing is absolutely awesome. So I think I might go try to stick one. They're going to be on the prowl looking for food when the weather's like this. So while I still got a little time, I think I'm going to sneak up there, load up my bow, and see what I can do. But I want to show you one thing that Monster Truck did over here. This was that first one that he cleaned all the way up. And then the cool thing was, this one I knocked down a while ago. It's down here, but I never picked it up because it was in such a tight spot and there was so much to get around for a grown man with a chainsaw. But, how old are you, 9?
8.
8, okay, he's almost 9. This month you will be. But for an 8-year-old with a sawzall, he did perfectly great in there, so pretty cool. And you've been using a couple different little tools lately, right?
Yes, sir.
And you ground up that gar scale necklace for yourself. He's going to tip some arrows too, but just, you know, teaching him caution and how to be careful, because what could happen with that sawzall?
You could cut off your hand and cut off a finger or hurt yourself really bad.
Right. He's aware of that, and you know, he knows how to use some things safely. Some things he doesn't. So I don't, you know, I don't give him a chainsaw, I don't give him a handgun. He's 8, you know. But cool thing too for a project like this, I don't want to be down here myself, out in the woods, chainsawing, because if something happens to me and I'm here by myself, eventually someone will get curious and come check. If I've got a guy here, he knows if something went wrong, he can be here to help. He can be here to notify mama or neighbors or others. So don't do things solo if you don't have to. Even some of the things I do down at the lake at night with bow fishing and, you know, other stuff, I make sure to have a partner, because that's important. I don't want to get hurt or have something happen to me or something worse happen to me simply because nobody came and helped me in time. So I think that's it, guys. We cannot afford to get snowed in, can we, son?
No, sir.
We got the show must go on. So we got some exercise in for the day. You said eventually you did get what? Cold?
Oh, yeah.
He's cold now, so we're gonna go home. He can go warm his bones by the fire, and I'll go sit out in the bushes with a crossbow. And we'll see you next time. Papa out.